What's the surest way to have a hit movie, album, or video game? Harvard Business School professor Anita Albersi says the blockbuster strategy is the path to follow. She's the author of Blockbuster, Hit-Making, Risk-Taking, and the Big Business of Entertainment. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's talk about this strategy. You say it applies to movies, TVs, even sports and video games. What exactly is the strategy?
Right, so the blockbuster strategy is a strategy in which companies, content producers, so film studios, record labels, book publishers, and many others are betting a disproportionate amount of their budget on the most likely winners, right? So they don't spread their resources equally. They don't say, let's just see what sticks. They say, we're going to decide which products are going to be successful in the marketplace, and we're going to go all in, really swing for the fences to make them work.
Why has it been so successful?
If you go all in, you get everyone else who's involved in the making of these products to go all in too. So retailers will stock it on the shelf. Theaters will be really pleased to show these blockbuster movies.
Right.
So yeah, so it works in a variety of different ways.
Give me an example of a successful film or whatever in this strategy.
Well, so one of the examples I discuss in the book is a company called Warner Brothers, one of the major studios.
Sure.
All the Harry Potter films, Inception, The Dark Knight. Those are all examples of big blockbuster bets where the studio went all in to make them a success, and they were incredibly successful.
Is this not then why we have so many sequels?
Yes, and I think that's one of the things that we're seeing in this marketplace. If you think about what are the most likely winners, we don't have a lot to go on, but what we do have something to go on as an executive is say, well, it looks a lot like something that was successful in the past. So you do see a lot of betting that's taking place is on something that resembles a past hit, but it's not always the case. Inception is a movie that looked like nothing that was out there, but also was a blockbuster bet for the studio.
Mm-hmm. There is this argument that going for the blockbuster all the time ultimately quashes creativity because people go for the safe bet.
Yes, I hear that all the time, and I think there's something to be said for that argument. But on the other hand, I think the more these content producers have a good sense of what is successful, and the more they realize this is how we build sustainable businesses, the more there's room for truly original products as well. And I think, for instance, that the movie Gravity wouldn't have been made if Warner Brothers wouldn't have been so successful with the Harry Potters and the Dark Knights. There's no chance they would have had $100 million to spend on a movie that was actually quite a risky bet. So on the one hand, we're seeing that they are trying to play it safe because there's so much at stake, but there's always room for these truly original products.
All right. Anita Albersi, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.